Welcome back to my channel. It is a Monday afternoon. It's about 4:30, I believe, 4:40, maybe closer to 5. We're not really sure. However, I wanted to make a video really quickly because college decision day is coming up. If you haven't already made your decision, you're about to, and I want to help with that. So I'm a first-gen student. I graduated with my my bachelor's last May in 2023, and I came here for the one-year FIT degree for associates. um in fashion business management. It's a collection of like styling, business law practices, stuff like that, um product development, all of that sort of thing. And I was actually going to move here full time or not do the school. I wasn't entirely sure. However, like, I'm so happy I did the 1 year. Like, there's so many opportunities, like so many more opportunities than I thought there would be. My mom went for, I think, her associates, and she never finished. So, because my dad was in the military and he was sick, so she went to go help him. So she never finished. So I'm a first gen, and it's pretty cool, very successful, at least I feel. However, it was very hard for me when I really didn't know what to expect for college. Like, I was, first of all, I was very reserved. I was pretty quiet, and I didn't have like a whole bunch of friends. Like, I was so shy. So one of the things like I wish I would have been told by my parents is like have a backup for your major, because like obviously you don't know what you want to do, but like I wish my parents had been more involved with the whole. Also, I'm doing skincare. Like, it's been a rough day, so yeah. But I wish my parents would have been a lot more involved in helping me plan for what I want my major to be, why I want to do what I want to do, what would be my backup for if I change my mind about what I want to do. Keep in mind, college is a big thing. Like, honestly, you are probably most likely going to be bored when you first start college because most of them are prereqs. I don't know if they tell you that in high school anymore. They say it's so hard. Half the time, it's really not hard at all. It's really not that bad. I don't know. I personally, I feel like high school was harder for me. But I feel like college is more fun, you know, like you get to pick your own times for your classes, you get to pick your teachers. Rate my professor is so important. Like this semester at FIT, I did not do that. I did with what went with the times that I wanted. Big mistake. I'm failing one of my classes because she's such a hard teacher. Not that I'm not doing the right thing. I'm putting 140% of myself into this teacher, and she's just not reflecting my efforts. Like, she just thinks she deserves so much. Anywho, back to the point. I want to make it simple and sweet. You need to pick a teacher who you like. Like, go and rate my professor. Definitely. Like, 100%, you have to do that. I mean, you don't have to, but like, save yourself the trouble. Even if, like, I always think, like, oh, I can do it if I study hard enough. No, no, no. I'm studying so hard for my class that I'm failing this semester. Still might not pass. She said I might not pass. However, I'm still gonna try, but you know, it's whatever. Who cares anymore? Another thing is when I picked my one of my first majors, I switched majors several times at my first school, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Had I just stuck with the first major I chose, I would have been so insanely happy. Like, I'm not even kidding. My first major was, I think, technically it was my second, but like I switched majors before school even started in college because I was in engineering, but like a quiet girl in engineering was not going to make it very far. You know what I'm saying? Like, props to the girls who can. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. You deserve success. But, like, I was very reserved. There's no way I could dominate in a man field. So, but anywho, my second field, technically my first, because, like I said, school hadn't started yet in college. I wanted to do vet school, veterinarian school for like exotic animals, not just like dogs and cats, like giraffes and zebras, and like work at a zoo. Honestly, I always find myself thinking like I would have done anything to just stay on that path because I love animals so much, and like that would have been made me so happy. But the reason I switched is that I really wanted to go to Costa Rica and help with animals. And like I was with my boyfriend, I'm really close to my family, I have pets. So I'm like, you know what, maybe this isn't the career for me. But like I said, like I didn't have anyone to help me think about this. Like I was just by myself. Like, yeah, my boyfriend was we're very close. but like my mom doesn't really sit down with me and have these conversations. Like I really wish she would. I think I would have been like so much happier in my life had I done that route. It is what it is though. So I did like a bunch of like majors. So I did engineering before I started because I took a class in high school. It was so much fun. I could have liked that, but I'm very quiet, so I don't think I would have enjoyed it that much. I also did nursing just to say I was a nurse. Like I never wanted to be a nurse. Just the thought of being a nurse. I'm so happy for the people who are nurses. Like you guys are wonderful, but like personally, that sounds so boring to me. I would have hated being a nurse. Not to mention the studying habits, just to make a good paycheck, like I wouldn't have been able to do it. It's just I don't know. I think it sounds really boring. Um, but like I said, like amazing to anyone who does that. You're amazing. I love you. And then I also did social work for a little bit. However, I don't know. Like I switched to social work after watching The Bachelor back in Maddie Pruitt when she was one of the contestants. I think Pilot Pete or something. I don't even remember anymore. But she was a social work major, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like so you deal with kids. Like I love that. And then I live in New Orleans, or I did, and like that is so dangerous. And every time I told someone, "Oh, I'm a social work major," I did not get the like responses I wanted. They were like, "Oh," or like I got some like, "Wow," like just like responses that like should not be happening. And I started asking people like, "Why the heck are they responding like this? Like, what is the problem? Like, I'm going to be working with kids. Like, what is the problem with this?" And basically, I learned that like insanely dangerous in New Orleans. Not everywhere, not all the time. However, like I wanted to help kids find new homes, like foster kids, but I would also have to do like take kids away from bad homes, which is good at the end result. At the end of the day, it's like it pays off for those kids who deserve a better life. But I don't know that I would have been able to do that without getting like shot. Like I hate to be so blunt, but like I don't know. Like it's just such a dangerous thing. So anywho, I did that one semester. I really loved the coursework. Um, then I switched to marketing. Marketing was pretty fun for a while. It got kind of boring. But I never wanted to do sales, and like my dad does sales. Like he does like life insurance or something. And that sounds like so boring in the nicest way. That sounds so boring. Like I've never wanted to do life insurance, never will want to do life insurance. But like I said, I'm not trying to be offensive, I'm not trying to be rude. Personally, these are my like interests. Um, so I graduated with my marketing degree, was thinking more like social media marketing. I knew I wanted to move to New York at this point, and so it wasn't until like May, I think like maybe closer to the middle of May that I found out that I got into FIT because I had to call. Okay, sorry, my skincare timer went off. I need to do this. I've been waiting more than 2 years because of COVID. I wanted to go around COVID. Like before I got my last 2 years, I think I wanted to go to FIT, and I had talked almost like every day with my fashion teacher from my other school. I was like, how do I make the transfer? How do I make the switch? What do I do? So every time after class, like we were talking about it, and she was helping me, and it was like I was like, I can't wait to go to this school. Like I'm so excited. I got really lucky. Like me and my roommate are so close. So that's really, really good. I'm so grateful every single day. Um, but I want to keep it on topic though. So if you are thinking about like coming to like an art school like FIT, you need like I know this is like really like not for the seniors because you would have already had to have your application in. If you're a junior though, you need to have your application in. I want to say by the earliest is like August 1st. I think it's like $50. You have to pay an application fee, then you have to write an admissions essay for like FBM. I don't know about like the other majors. The design majors, you have to do like a whole portfolio, but August 1st is the earliest that you can like apply for FIT in the fall. I want to say 2026. No, 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 2025. The fall of 2025. I think you have to have your application in by this August. So just be very careful. And like the earlier you submit everything, the more higher chance that you have of getting like admitted to the school, the FIT school. And keep in mind like they do have one, like if you like design, I'm not entirely sure like what the California school offers, but FIDM is a like a sister school or brother school of like FIT. It's in California, so it is more expensive. However, like if that's what you want, like 175%, like you need to go to these two schools if that's what you're interested in. And I say that because like I said, I'm only doing the 1 year program, and I'm gonna be moving back home in May. I would have loved to stay. I really, really love it here in New York. However, me and my boyfriend have been together for 6 years now, and I just kind of decided like he wants to pass the CPA exam before he moves anywhere or joins me here. So I just kind of decided like I would rather go back home, move in with him. We've been together 6 years, so like I would like to get engaged soon. I would like to have kids like in a couple years. Just start doing all of those things that we could never do. So at the end of the day, yes, I will be leaving. We talked about like maybe in a couple years, like moving back out to New York for like 2 or 3 years, just because like I said, we're in our 20s. Like I want to do these things, and it's been like one of the best years of my life. So like honestly, you need to do this if you want to go to this school. Let me see. Another thing I want to say is they offer like so many courses here at FIT. Like they have menswear, they have jewelry design, they have design like actual design, and like the opportunities are really endless. Like when I say that, I don't mean it lightly. Like at the career fairs, they have like Marc Jacobs, they have Kleinfeld Bridal, they have Victoria's Secret, LVMH has been here a couple times, Louis Vuitton has been here a couple times. Um, Honestly, and like the style shop, they look for buying interns as well. You can work style shop hours. They have so many clubs to make you like do regular like things to get you experience. Um One thing I didn't know until like after it was already like to the end was that the PR club, they do like a fashion show in the fall. So like if you want to help with that, like you get to walk the stage in the fall after the show. But like that would be like literally amazing. Like you can help with makeup, you can help with styling, you can help with production, anything. Like honestly, like there are so many opportunities at this school that like if I wasn't here for just the 1 year, I would have so taken advantage of. And then one of the club's wardrobe set and design, I think. Overall, like the fall semester, they like kind of work like every meeting is kind of like working toward like the premiere at the end of the following semester. So like they meet in the spring, I mean they meet in the fall and then work on it throughout the fall and through the spring. And so if you want to be in like production or like styling or like acting or like modeling, like any of those, wardrobe set and design is so freaking fun. Um, I'm trying to think about what else. But like honestly, like I just think like this school, like if you're interested in the arts, literally so exciting. Like today, me and my class went to it was called like Echo Showroom, where they have like one of the designers for Ralph Lauren. So we got to go see that. We got to feel a lot of like the fabrics of Polo Ralph Lauren and how it's made. We got to see some of the tech packs, which is kind of like how they like make their products, if that makes sense. So it has like the color palettes they use, it has like the fabrics they use, and so on. Um, and let me see, last semester I went to a trade show, which is where a lot of the fashion buyers go to like create like deals and like buy garments for their store, wherever they're a fashion buyer for. But like that's what I mean when I say like there are a million opportunities at this school, so I will credit them that. However, like there's a lot of things that kind of frustrate me about it, but I don't know. I just think like it's worth a shot. And like I'm really grateful like for my roommate because like I said, like I'm so close with my family and like I think the day after they left, which is the first time I've ever been alone in a state by myself, like I've never been alone. Like even my other school was an hour away from my house, so I could go home every day after school. And the day after my family left me here in New York, I was like so depressed. and my roommate asked if I want to go on a walk. And like honestly, I think from that day forward, like we've been really close because I've never felt so alone. And even my boyfriend got me. I'm sure I showed everyone. Like he got me this little bear, and like this is his bracelet. And he put like a voice thing in here, and I've listened to it like more times than I could probably get. Like probably more than 100 times over this year. So definitely like think about that. Like if you have like a really long term like boyfriend, family member, dog, you could probably get them to bark or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's just something you have to get used to. So definitely like another thing that I wish I really, really, really wish I would have done for college is go on the college tours. Like a lot of colleges I'm sure have like discounted hotels or something. You could ask them, just call and ask for like leave like a message because like if you don't like the environment of the school, like FIT looks like a prison. 100% looks like a prison. So like honestly, like if you don't like how it looks, like don't come here. Um, but I mean that in the nicest way. But like for example, I really didn't have anyone to go on college tours with. I didn't really know my options. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I didn't know what to consider when picking a major because, like I said, I'm a first gen. Like I don't know. So I didn't really tour any colleges. I didn't really think about majors. I just kind of picked one that had what I wanted to do at the time. But like, you need to think about that. And like, honestly, like, I would suggest meeting with a counselor. And if you don't like feel like they're helpful at all, maybe that's like an indication. Like, I know sometimes like there's like a bad one in the bunch, but like, if you feel like your counselor can't help you at all, then like, how are you going to like what happens if you want to switch majors or what happens if you're not sure or like what happens if you're having like a midlife crisis and you're far away from your family because you chose to like come here and like me like you're like a 19-hour drive away, you know what I'm saying? Like you just need to make sure that like you can handle this and that they've got you and like you've got them, if that makes sense. Okay, so when you're considering colleges, I really suggest like making a pros and cons for each of the colleges you go to, but strongly suggest like going to visit them. Honestly, I wanted to throw this in there. I know like this might not relate to people at FIT because there's no like sorority life. However, I feel like I've been wanting to put this in there. Like, I'm gonna try and stay like neutral, like not positive or negative, but I just want to relay the facts. I was not in a sorority. However, I wanted to make people aware because I feel like it's so secretive at like a lot of colleges, especially southern ones. Like I came from a college in Louisiana. Um, so like it wasn't LSU, but it was still in Louisiana. It was like a southern college where like sorority life is like extremely, extremely like popular. I'm like I said, I've wanted to make this statement since COVID, but like I feel like I wanted to like wait until I wasn't as upset over the matter. I'm always gonna be upset. Like it's always gonna hurt like my heart that it happened to me the way it did, but this is actually this way for a lot more people than you realize. And I haven't even seen the Bama Rush documentary, but I really want to watch it. But I've heard it doesn't portray like what we really wanted to see. Um, so however, I went to a college in Louisiana, like I said, and I tried maybe one, I think it was 3 times. I rushed 3 or 4 times. And part of me is like so grateful that I didn't make it into one, and part of me wishes I would have done it as a freshman, and that's one of the reasons why like if you go to like a sorority school or like if you want to join like Greek life, I highly recommend you do it as a freshman. And that's the point I was trying to make is that like I'm a first gen. I was very quiet. I didn't have many friends. I knew of people that were rushing, but I didn't really know why. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess I didn't know much about it, but like I didn't have anyone to tell me about it, you know? And my boyfriend he would have been a legacy, and I think because I had such a hard time like dealing with the fact that it wasn't going the way it would never go the way I wanted it to go. So I don't think he did a fraternity. when he could have been a legacy. I think he did it out of the kindness for me. Um, However, so the first semester when I was a freshman, I didn't rush. The second semester, or no, the second year, I was an RA and I tried to do sorority recruitment, but I had RA training and they wouldn't let me do it because I would like miss the training. The following year, when I was a sophomore, I rushed, but it was online, it was over COVID, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, it was because when I was an RA, we got sent home. So when I was a sophomore, I think it was like 2020. Yeah, it must have been. We were virtual, so like the whole sorority recruitment was virtual, and like there were so many problems. I got kicked out. I got like a whole dorm just to go through sorority recruitment because I was expecting to like make it in the first time because there's nothing wrong with me. Like I can be a very social butterfly. I dress really cute sometimes. Like I have all the clothes that people thought were cute. I can take cute pictures if I really want to, but that's not enough. Like for sororities, like most of you will never be enough. And I say that with a lot of respect, but like sorority is so not what I thought it was. Um, So, like I said, I was a sophomore and I didn't make it. So, like, I went through the first day, and keep in mind, this is like a 5 day event, 5 days. So, the first day I went through something, I got so many compliments. I had on like a little hat or something, and like a little cheetah dress. I got so many compliments. I feel like it was like a tiny bit awkward with some of them just because it was like virtual and there was like a lag in the connection. Um, but overall, like I felt like we had so much to talk about. Well, the second day, I woke up and I got invited back to one out of like five. And in the nicest way, I didn't connect with any of them at all in the slightest. That one was so very uncomfortable. Every single girl I had nothing in common with. Um, and I distinctly remember because I tried really hard and like I was gonna sacrifice kind of like my pride because they're the ones who say like don't join for the wrong reasons just to say you're in a sorority. But like that would have been the only reason I joined that one. Um, I don't know, like in the nicest way. It was kind of like the geeky sorority, in the nicest way. But I'm sure they were all very nice. It's just like we didn't connect, none of us. So when I woke up the next morning and found out like I wasn't invited back to any, I was actually kind of livid. Because like I deserve so much better. I'm a nice person and I've always been told I'm very nice. And I just kind of felt disrespected and that's not what I wanted for myself. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I moved out of my dorm. I moved back home because it was over COVID. No one was on campus. And so I watched everyone like who was in my like rush group. They all got um like selected. And then to be honest, the following year I did no no no. I think it was the next semester. So like my second semester as a sophomore, so like the spring semester, I did like they had like online recruitment. I did like Find You. I did I think I did Find You and Alpha Omicron Pi, and I did both of them at my home, and it like the lighting sucked, but also like it was just like one meeting, and I think you might have got invited back to one more the next night, but like I said, I didn't, and I just kind of felt like again, I felt like we connected really well, all of us, and I just didn't get an invite back again, and I'm like, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm not embarrassing myself anymore. And then I think the next year I was a junior. No, no, no. I was a senior. Like um I didn't rush again until I was a senior. Which is like a big no-no. Like they don't, just so you know, sororities very rarely take over a freshman. They don't want anyone over a freshman year. You can say that's not true all you want, but like one of the sororities was willing to take me. So, I just wanted to make that clear. Like two took me once when I was a senior and I ran, but wait, I didn't get to that yet. Hold on. But for the most part, you have to be a freshman. That is why I'm saying if you can rush as a freshman, rush. However, there's so much drama that comes with it. There's so many expensive dues. So, like, if you do not love every piece of that sorority, if you do get into one, you should just quit because there's so much drama. So, anywho, like I said, like each time I rushed, I felt like I completely connected with all of the girls. I felt like we had an amazing conversation, and like honestly, we had so much in common. I felt like I could have been friends with most of the people in that sorority, all of the sororities actually, because like, I did have like sort of friends in each sorority when I did run as a senior. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll definitely get in this year if I have the cute clothes, if I do my hair a certain way, if I connect again with them really well, maybe if I change my answer, say I have the same values. Um, so when I went into it as a senior, I made some friends. The first day I went and talked to everyone, like I said, I had some friends in each of them. And one of the girls I had rushed with as like a sophomore had made it into Alpha Sigma Tau. So one of the sororities that I was invited to for the second day that I was never invited to before. And so like after the first day, I felt like I had such amazing conversations with everyone, but like I said, I was a senior. They don't want you. They do not want a senior. They will strictly pretend to the best of their ability that you're best friends, that you have such a good conversation. They don't want you. Like they're gonna freaking lie their behinds off, in the nicest way. But it's true. So the second day when I got there, I got invited to two. I got invited to kind of like the geeky one in the nicest way, and I did give it a try. I did. I really did try more than once. And then I got invited to Alpha Sigma Tau, AST. And as soon as I walked, well, let me rephrase. If you only get invited to one or two parties, even if it's at like 5 p.m., you have to wait the entire day. You have to go at 8 a.m. and get there and check in. You have to wait until like 5 p.m. So if someone has one party at 8 a.m., they can just leave. But you're freaking screwed. You have to sit there until like 5 p.m. You can't even leave and come back. You can't go get lunch and come back. You're just screwed. Um, However, so like the second day, keep in mind this is still a week-long process for sorority recruitment. The second day, I did find out I got invited to one of them, and then Alpha Sigma Tau. So the second day, when I went to go to Alpha Sigma Tau, I felt kind of weird. Like I was talking to one of my friends out front before we went in, and like when you go in, they like clap and stuff. Um, and I had like a friend in AST, and I felt like I really connected with some of them. However, the second, like you talk to a couple people on the first day, and I did have a really good friend in that one. So on the second day, when I went into AST, um, it was you could tell something wasn't right as soon as I sat down. The first girl, like the girl who like doesn't like me for some reason. I'm not sure why. This is the girl I like rushed with as a sophomore. She made it in, I didn't. Um, they're supposed to lead the conversation. She wasn't talking to me, she wasn't smiling, she wasn't laughing at me. She was visibly not interested in me. So I was leading the conversation. I put my feelings aside. I don't even know why she didn't like me. To this day, I don't know why she didn't like me. Um, and then the next girl that sat down with me was the same way. Like she wouldn't smile, she wouldn't laugh, she wouldn't really talk to me. It was just really uncomfortable. And then I think there was one more girl after that, and I knew something was up. So after I left that day, I'm like, oh my God, like something wasn't right. And sure enough, that girl, the first one I talked to, had told the entire house that she did not like me and was saying all of these bad things about me before we got invited in. So everyone was like laughing, talking about me, saying things that I don't even know what they're talking about. Like I said, I'm like I try and be nice to everyone. Um, but for that like bullying and harassment to like do that, one of the girls that was my friend at the time, told me about that happened, and she was in the house. She heard it happening. And so, as you know, I was not invited back the following day. And like I said, I had tried. You know what? It was 4 times that I run because as a junior, I decided to try one of the like geeky sororities. In the nicest way, I keep repeating that because I don't want to be rude. Like they're very nice, but I do not connect with them. I did try. Like I would have joined their spring recruitment. I did go to the house one day, just to kind of like hang out with them and like get to know them. I just felt so awkward and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to pay all this money. I can't do this to myself or to them. Like I'm uncomfortable. I'll never show my face here. So I backed out of spring recruitment for them without really doing like any sort of like interview or anything. They would have just kind of offered me like a bid. So I backed out of that. And back when this in junior, like my senior year, after I did not get asked back to Alpha Sigma Tau AST at Southeastern in Louisiana. I hate to say that, but like you should know. Like if you're thinking about going to schools, like you should know. And like I don't know. Like I kind of wish the girl who like talked bad about me. I know exactly who you are, and like she's never gonna watch this, but like I wish she would because there was one time like maybe 2 or 3 years ago she tried to follow me on TikTok. I don't know why. Like I really this is after the whole thing happened. Um, but like I'm mature and clearly she wasn't. Maybe she is now. I don't know. Um, but like I feel like she'll have always taken that opportunity from me. But like I had decided that I already wasn't going to join this last sorority. I just didn't fit in with them. I tried multiple different occasions, like 3 different times I had tried, and I just kept feeling like I kept trying, and they're like, stick it out, you might be really grateful. No, you can tell. Like 3 different years I had tried for them and it just didn't fit. I wasn't a fit. They just want your money though. Um, I don't know. I don't know. To this day, it's just like I still feel so robbed of that opportunity because like the bullying was like actually insane. And like one more thing I wanted to add about the sorority is that like some of them act like they're so cool. They act like they're so much better than you. So like that's one of the reasons like I'm happy I didn't join one. But at the same time, like they always tell you like don't join for the wrong reasons. Don't join just to say you're in a sorority. But that's all most of them do. um like at one point in time like I would have given like my whole life to be in a sorority, to have like a friend that close, to have something like that with someone with so much in common, to go to all the events, to make lifelong friends, to help out with the um some like the philanthropy things that they have, the volunteer events. I would have given like my whole entire life. And like for several different years throughout the 4 times that I rushed, I cried so much because that's all I wanted. And like being quiet and like not being able to like make that many friends is just kind of like I don't know. Like I feel like I can make friends now, but like I felt like I could never like really connect with someone on like that level. So like to finally find that in something so exclusive that I could not have, it just I don't know. I'm so grateful because like I could have been like I could have turned out just as rude as some of them. Like I could have been such a jerk as some of them are. And like that's not to say they're all like that because some of them are really nice, but most of them are very fake. Like one of the ones I really wanted to be in, which was at one point I really wanted to do Phi Mu, and one of them I really wanted to do AOPI, but one of them, the purple one, I can't remember which one it is. I really don't remember. But one of them I genuinely felt so connected with, and they just didn't invite me back. So that's why I'm saying, like, I did hear, they don't want you to know this, but I did hear for certain that they really won't take other than freshmen. But, like, I think that's pretty much it um, for, like, regarding sorority recruitment. Um, But yeah, like that's just something like you need to understand. Like it is not like they always say like, oh, it's like like I forget the word they use, but whenever you're in like sorority recruitment, they say like, oh, it's a process or it's a mutual understand or mutual thing or it's mutual. You know, like to get not get invited back is not mutual. But they use the word mutual so much, and I'm like, literally stop. Like you're convincing people everyone has a chance when that's not true. Um, like the second day, one of my friends at the time had only gotten one, and it was the one that we both did not want. And she went home like crying. Like the only reason she had come to that school was to join a sorority because her mom was in one and she didn't get invited because she didn't look pretty enough. Isn't that like sad? Like you're a legacy, but they didn't like how you look, so you didn't get invited back. And then another that same day, later, like 30 minutes later, one of the girls opened her like note and she was like loudly crying, like hysterically crying, because I think she might have also been a legacy and she wasn't chosen, but like it's just like it's so overhyped, like I swear. So if you can do it as a freshman, but even then, most of the people do not get chosen. So if you're doing sorority recruitment, do not have high hopes. But like I said, I just wanted to like share that part of my story because I feel like I've never told it just because I've always been so upset that I feel to this day I still feel like I was sort of robbed of an opportunity to have like a sisterhood because of that one girl who decided to be a bully. So I hope she got what she wanted. I really don't care what happened to her, but I just care about myself. And I'm fine with where I'm at. I've had an amazing year. But I did just want to share that because like I don't know. I just feel like I've always wanted to. Oh, but another thing I wanted to add is like, I know this is back to the whole like when you pick a college thing, but like when you pick your major, like you need to be like researching what exactly are you doing, or like maybe go on like one of the counselors had told me this, maybe go on like LinkedIn and like look at the job description of like somewhere that's hiring in your preferred like field and just read all of them and like circle the ones that like you're not sure if you want to do. But like I think that's so important because like in some jobs like you think it's this and then in reality it's like this. And like you just wasted 5 years studying for something that you can't stand. Um, so I don't know. I just think that's really important. I know like I've kind of made like so many like mistakes like in school because like I've switched so many times and like that's okay. But like I am out of tops and like student money, if that makes sense. Federal aid, that's what it's called. But like I'm out of all of that. So like honestly like I just wish like I had someone there to like kind of like help me think about this. Um, but like I said, like had I not switched majors at all, had I just done the veterinarian thing, I even called my vet like this last semester and had like a big interview, in-depth interview with him and was just like, "Hey, like I'm really thinking about going back for vet school." I don't think I will though, just because it's so much money, but like after trying the whole fashion industry, it's so exciting, it's so thrilling, it's so amazing to see such like a unique like side of fashion world and like get invited to like so many different like events, showrooms, things like that that like I've never even gotten to think about, let alone experience before. Um After working like a fashion internship for PR and social media, I just don't think like I don't know. Like I do like it. It's just that like I feel like I'm wasting my time in a way and I just keep thinking like every single time I go in for work, I always find myself thinking like I could be doing so much more to like help people, help animals. So, I don't know. Like I just think like if had I just stuck with it, I probably would have been like six-figure salary by now. Like 5 years ago, I probably would have started and finished like this year maybe with like grad school or something. But anywho, like just seriously like make a pros and cons list of like each of like maybe the careers, but like really do have a backup career and make sure your school has it or like make sure you know who does. Um But yeah, like if you can try and go to all of the events as a freshman. Um, I think if I rushed to sorority like as a freshman, I would have like really gotten invited. However, we'll never know, and I'm not gonna waste time wishing that I had. Um, but I think it might be really fun for a lot of freshmen. But join a lot of clubs. If you come to FIT, they don't have like Greek life or anything, but like keep in mind, even if you don't go to a New York school, you can't miss days, but also like you can't be acting up. Like when I say that, I mean like every person you meet will most likely be a connection for you to make in the future, like in the industry you're trying to go in, because it's such a small world. Like, you could be working in PR and someone in like jewelry design comes out with like a new line or something. Like, I don't know, but like, if you're friends with that person in the jewelry line and you hate each other, what if you need her help in the future? You get what I'm saying? Like, you really don't think about it that like your friends that you make here could be your coworkers in the future, but they could. Um, so I think that's all I'm going to say. Just keep that in mind. Also, I didn't really know FIT had like a dance team, but I'm going to their showcase tonight. I'm kind of excited. Like, I don't know, I've never really seen like a dance showcase. I've always really wanted to join a dance team. However, there's like a month left of school, so I'm not gonna do that now. Um, but just know there's so many clubs. They have like a musical here. They have like a semi-formal dance coming up. I'm not going because like a lot of people here are like really childish in the nicest way. Um, I just meant like I'm like more mature because I'm like a little bit older. Like I already have my bachelor's. I've already made a lot of mistakes in life to make me like more wise and more mature, I think, if that's fair to say. Um, but like obviously you're not gonna have it figured out, you know? Like who has it figured out at like 18? I didn't. Like I was so hateful when I didn't get the sorority thing that many times. Like I'm just like so much self-hate was going on. Like I'm like obviously there's something wrong with me. And there wasn't. It's just such a screwed up process and it's just so glorified without really like getting addressed. Um, so, but yeah, I don't know. I just think like getting involved is so helpful because like especially going to school in New York, like it's so lonely. And like I've made friends outside of FIT who are like closer to my age. Like I'm 24, but like I feel like me and a lot of the people here are not on the same page just because they are 18, you know, and like I'm 24, so like I've come to certain places that like they haven't yet, which is okay. However, that's why I have like friends off campus, or like friends who are like in grad school, so like my age. Um, if I could go back again, like I said, I would do vet school in a heartbeat. Um, I don't know. To be honest, I think I'm gonna go back home in May and like teach maybe for a year or two. And if I hate it, then maybe I'll work as like a vet assistant. I really don't know where I'll be, but like I'm in my 20s, so I could do whatever I want with the rest of my life. And like I also have a marketing degree, so if I don't like teaching, which I love kids, but I've heard it's god awful, I could always go back to marketing or something. I really don't know. Um, but yeah, I think that's about it. Just like be very careful when you're getting your acceptance letters. Congratulations to everyone who is accepted to their dream school or to places they want to go. Um, yeah. And by the way, the freshman 15 is okay. Like I was like probably 100 pounds when I started college, if that, at maybe like 90 something. I was uncomfortably skinny. Like I looked like I had anorexia and I thought I was fat at the time. Like it's such a bad habit. But like I gained like 15 to 20 pounds and I looked better. Honestly, like I think I looked better with the weight cuz like who wants to be just 100 pounds? You know, like I don't know, but it is okay. Okay, I was editing my video and I really did just want to add this really quickly. So, if you're going to choose a college to go to, you need to do some research on that college. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, at FIT, we're always having like protests and stuff, and they like stormed the building yesterday. So, I couldn't get to the library. I had to go through like another building, but the library did close early because of that. And like, I can't really get my work done or I can't really concentrate because like they're yelling and doing all this and like I don't even want to get involved in the protest right now because I have so much work to do. Like I can't afford to like stray from what I need to be doing. Um, but like I did hear that Columbia shut down their school for the rest of the semester and is only doing remote work because the protesters like are camping out at their school and stuff. And then I've seen NYU like boarding up like a lot of their campus as well in some videos. But that's just like that's what I mean to say is like you need to be aware of like the trends that happen at your college. Um, 'Cause like if you have like a class and you can't get to it, or if you pay like I pay a lot of money to come here, but like people are protesting, and if Columbia closed down for the rest of the semester because of this, who's to say that's not gonna happen here? Um, so just be aware of that. But also like when you choose your college, like I came from the southern states, so like whenever I went to college at my other school, the AC was on full blast like every single day, and like obviously you don't have to like switch schools for an AC, but like that's just something to think about. So like and obviously in the southern states, like I said, my school used to blast the AC in every room, so even if it was really hot outside, it'd be really cold in the classrooms. However, like I've noticed at FIT in the New York college, it is just so hot every single day in the classrooms. I don't know if that's just I don't know if that's just because they're trying to like save energy so they don't put the AC on, but yeah, I did notice that. Also, really quickly, I wanted to say that my mom, when she got her associate, she didn't get her associates because my dad was sick in the military, like I said earlier in the video. However, she couldn't finish her associates because all the classes she had taken, I think she was really close to graduating with her associates, but they didn't offer like one of the last courses that she needed in order to graduate, and then her credits were not transferable. So make absolutely sure that you have all of the credits that you need to graduate from that major just for that reason. She went to Delgado. This was several years ago, so it could have changed. I'm not really sure, but she went to Delgado in Louisiana. But yeah, I did want to make that clear. Also, for FIT, I know there's an internship class, but this can apply to other schools as well. So when I was a social work major, I know that they were going to help us get an internship, and I think they were going to pretty much give us one. Um, Whereas like here you have to get your own internship even if you're in the internship class. Um, but if you don't get an internship, you have to drop out of the class. Like they're not gonna help you. Um, so yeah, and if it's not like a fashion job sort of, or like marketing or social media or something like that, like kind of relating to Fashion Institute of Technology, they're not gonna help you get an internship. Like you're gonna have to get it yourself. So I just wanted to say that really quickly. Also, really important, when choosing a college, at my other school at Southeastern in Louisiana, um, I would stay in the dorm sometimes, and they had study rooms on like every single floor of the dorm. They had so many buildings that I can go in and study and get my work done. They had a huge, huge library, so many places to sit. Whereas here at FIT, if you're in the dorms, there's one study room on the in the lobby. Um, and I mean, like, each of the dorms has like one study room, and then they have like a library, but it's very small. And they really don't have, like, I think they have like one workroom for the students, but they really only have like two or three study rooms across the whole campus. Um, and I mean, I kind of feel like they're always pretty booked because there is limited space, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, on the weekends, like, a lot of the coffee shops are so overbooked because it's New York City, you know? Um, but I don't know, I just would keep that in mind because a lot of the time, like, I come to my room, but like, for example, my roommate might be on the phone, or I might be trying to take a test, but she wants to watch your show, you know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. That's just something to think about because if you have a lot of trouble paying attention and you're always in the study room, keep in mind you need to make sure how many your school has available for you because here at FIT, there's really not many at all, and that does affect my progress. Okay, last thing. I just thought about this and I wanted to make this very clear because this was something I needed to hear as a freshman, as a sophomore, senior, whatever kind of timing this is for you. I'm sure you need it as well because I feel like we all need some helpful advice. So, like, what I'm gonna say is the path you take, like, trying to avoid something that you ultimately want to do, will just kind of come back and bite you in the butt. Because, like, when I first started, like I said, one of the things I wanted to do was vet school or become a teacher because my mom taught kids. She taught like 18-month-year-old, like almost babies and toddlers. And I would always pretend to be sick for school, like use all my absences, max them out to go to work with her because I did really enjoy that. And I always knew teaching did not make money at in the slightest. And I didn't want to have to rely on a guy to make me income. So I never became a teacher. I never did the vet thing because like I didn't really think about it because vets do make more money, but like at the end of the day, it's still so much money for vet school and all. So I didn't do those. And as a result, I've spent several years in school. I'm probably going, like, I am going back for a 1 year program from Southeastern online though, because they have like a teaching program or whatever. But like, I'm just like trying to say, like, if there's something that you ultimately want to do and are trying to push it away because it doesn't make enough money or because like maybe you might have to move away, if you're going to regret not doing that, you need to be doing that. Like, you need to make the switch. You need to have a talk with your counselor, with your parents, with your boyfriend, sister, brother, pet, I don't care. Like, but I think that would be the most cost effective option for you in particular. Um, yeah, just because I never really had anyone to like tell me like don't switch, like you're gonna regret it or you're gonna like your financials are gonna regret it because they are. So I just wanted to add that in there because I'm like literally for the longest time I was avoiding those two paths and now several years later starting to be in debt now and we're right back to where I could have been and saved a lot of money. So I know this sounds really stupid. Like you're gonna be like, obviously you shouldn't do this, but I did do this. So when I was a different major, I can't remember what I think it was a nursing major. I was in zoology and that's like learning about like bones, the joints, things like that. It was interesting. Um, like the phalanges, like you learned about like all the bones and stuff in the fingers. We went over COVID for that, so I mean like I did fail both of those classes. The lab for zoology and the zoology class. Because both of the guys that I had were like old men and they didn't know how to convert the teaching to online. They were really, really bad at it. But that's about the time when Emily in Paris came out and she made marketing social like she made like luxury product marketing look so much fun, but that is like one of the fakest portrayals of a career I probably could have ever seen in my life. And I literally blew off my finals for those two classes after watching that movie, like to watch that show because I'm like, oh my God, like this is what I want to do. And that's not how it is at all. Like that could not be farther from the truth. But like I said, I'm a first gen, so I have no one to tell me this, and especially since it was like COVID, there was no one that I had near to me that was like, this is fake, because I'm seeing this glamorous show thinking like, wow, like that looks like an amazing career, but it's just not realistic, you know? And like I said, like you probably already knew that, but like it's hard like if you don't know much about like what a career actually does. You just like see like the portrayal on TV and think like, oh my gosh, that looks so much fun. And I mean, I'm sure it is fun, like living in Paris, doing marketing. Like that sounds fun. But like realistically, that's like I know I don't have that back home. Like we don't really have those types of jobs. So I don't know, just be aware of that as well. Like if you see something on TV, like it's most likely not what you really think it is. So, I think that's pretty much all. I really hope that was helpful. Like I said, I'm not trying to stir any drama. I'm not trying to like I strictly want you to know the facts because I really don't have anyone to tell me this. I'm sure a lot of you don't have people to tell you this as well. Otherwise, why would you be watching? But please let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything like you want me to go more in depth about. Yeah. But I hope this was helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Oh, also happy college decision month, week, whatever you want to call it. I hope you make the best decision and I hope you're happy with your decision. Thank you. Bye.